Somehow I was tasked to make certain observations in society these days. And one thing I want to point out before I make this video is what I used to love about America. And it's not the free speech and being able to wear whatever you want, you know, the First Amendment, the Second Amendment. You know, it's like in today's day and age, you can only wear whatever you want if it's just extremely gay or something like that. And you know, if you wear any kind of particular item like a Make America Great Again hat, you get attacked by the people that can wear whatever they want, and like, you know, drag queen story time and stuff like that. And that's fine. I think you should be able to wear whatever you want, and I wouldn't attack people for what they wear, right? But in today's day and age, it's not like that. You see, you get attacked by the left for wearing things that, like a Make America Great Again hat, right? Of course, that doesn't apply on the right. And anyways, I don't know where I was going with that, but since I was tasked to make these observations to prove that everybody in America is a transhumanist, I've made a list here, okay? And it's a list of things that I observed while it was really, this demonstration that's being put on in America, if you watch Pinky and the Brain, is really apparent. But there's certain tricks you got to know to really bring the snake out of people, right? Because these people just act normal. Like my bosses, who just seem like the greatest guys in the world until you test them. And one test that I gave them while they were telling me that I needed to take sick leave and stuff, because just came out of nowhere, because I was not one of them, right? See, they think I'm a snake, but I'm not. And I figured out how to exercise it out of people's mind. Like whenever you're having a conversation with somebody in your head, like if it's a black person, of course I'm not a racist, but I mean, if you could get the reaction based, because everybody's telepathic because they're all transhumanists. So say you're talking to like my black preacher, right? Of course I had some help with this. It wasn't naturally coming through me. I'd say in my head like suck my dick, or I'd say the N-word in my head, and this is being pushed into my head. Now the Army put something in my tooth, and I think they might have used me to get a pulse, to put my finger on the pulse of America. And I'm telling you, everybody is inoculated, and everybody can, whatever's driving these people can just take over. But you got to piss them off. You got to smoke that snake out, right? And I'm going to tell you how I did that. Like I said, like my black preacher, the N-word would be pushed into my head while I was having a conversation with him, and he'd be like, remember that guy after they said Holy Ghost, and he had like a glitch and he just froze, whatever his name was. I can't think of his name right. He's a pundit. They said Holy Ghost and he just froze, like Shaquille O'Neal. And, you know, I've talked about that. Now, the one time, this is just my observations in normal everyday people. The two bosses that I thought were just normal guys, we were driving back from a meeting, and we had talked about some things. The one boss that wanted me to go on sick leave, he went into going toward, he was talking about the barbecue cook-off, right? Of course, you got to learn how to catch these things when these people are talking about it. He was talking about the barbecue cook-off and how there's a hierarchy, right? Of course, I knew exactly what he was talking about. And there was some Jesus music playing in the background, and I said, oh, it has everything to do with this music that's playing in the background. And that's when my other boss just kind of went, you know, he froze like the guy whenever they said Holy Ghost. I wish I could remember his name. So we're driving back, and they're talking about how they have allergies right now. They're like, man, our allergies are really acting up. And I was like, yeah, I know what they're talking about. I said, you know, I'm not allergic to anything. I used to be allergic to, now they're acting normal talking, right? While we're in the car driving down the road. And they had said their allergies. I said, you know, I don't have any allergies, but I used to be allergic to cinnamon. And they're like, oh, really? Yeah, I was, actually. I said, it makes my lips swell up. And they went, that was the smoke, right? I put that smoke in there, and they went from talking normal to, you're smoking, no, what are you talking about? You gotta fucking talk about nothing. And they started, like, they said, we got shots for that and shit. I mean, these are two bosses that went from acting normal to whenever I said my lips swell up if I eat cinnamon, they lost their fucking minds. True story. Okay, I'm not making any of this up. I'm just telling you how you smoke the snake out of people, and everybody has the snake in them, right? I'm just aware of it, and I know how to grab the snake and break its back. You haven't noticed. Buckeye phone call, and I'd made several inquiries whenever I have stocks and stuff, so I'd listen to their company meetings. Whenever I would call into their company meetings, they're obviously telepathic. One time when I called into the company, my company at Buckeye Pipeline, I called in and they were talking about dirt that they had on me, and I said, I don't care. And they just got real quiet, and I said, I'm really mad at you in my head, okay? And the guy, as soon as I say that, yeah, we know, and it's like, how is this even possible, right? Swear to God, I'm not making this up. I'm not insane. I'm telling you, I'll take a polygraph to any of this, and I guarantee you I'm not insane. I'm telling you, this is factual information. Most people are most people are transhumanists, so anybody that catches all this stuff that isn't, completely induced into the Borg, those people that are completely induced into the Borg is going to look at me and be, you're insane. Trust me, I'm not. I'm just coherent as to y'all are Borg and I'm not, and I don't want to be in your Borg, okay? And I'm trying to tell you how you smoke the snake out of these people. Right? A.M. Rush Limbaugh, he's a robot. That guy is the beekeeper, okay? The media feeds off of Rush Limbaugh. He's the most telepathic person on the planet, okay? And it's all in Pinky in the Brain, okay? This is the whole freaking script here is. Whenever I'm in church, I can, like, my preacher would be up there one day, and of course I got a bunch of stuff. Like, I'd had sex the night before and my dick was kind of hurting, right? And I was like, somebody's pushing it in my head because I could feel it a little bit. Like, I got the clap. Of course, I'm in church. I didn't have the clap. By the way, this technology can actually give you pains. So I'm in church trying to, this evil shit's being pushed in my head. Now I understand why they did it. Because you can tell that everybody in the church was a transhumanist when you look around the room and that's being pushed into your head, and all of the people in the room are like, just look disgusted, and you can tell by the conversation that the preacher's giving and everything that can read. They're freaking transhumanist. All of them, man. They're all a collective mind hive. And they've infiltrated the churches. They've infiltrated everything. And I'm telling you, it's not just Washington or the Intel community or Hollywood. Everybody is infiltrated. I've wrote a book on this that proves it, okay? So yeah, I can give a pitch to the preacher inside the church, and he'll actually say a word. Like, I could say ice one time. I said ice, and he said ice as he had went through his, right after I said it in my head, he said ice, right? Now, if you watch the movie The Host, watch that movie. That's exactly the script that's taking place here. I'm the little girl in the movie, right? The one that was still alive inside after I had been consumed by the technology or the aliens or whatever the hell you want to call it. A lot of people are saying it's aliens. I'm telling you, it's nanotechnology that's driven by a supercomputer, okay? And they're trying to tune this thing in, and they're using certain targeted individuals to do it. You YouTube targeted individuals, and those are the people that are still home, okay? People that are just going on, and it looks like they're just living their life normal till you smoke the snake out of them. Like, call them a faggot in your head and shit while you're having a conversation with them, and they're like, oh, what? I'm not. Or say, I want to suck your dick or something like that in your head, and you can tell because they're like, yeah, they are infiltrated, and that's how you do it. That's how you smoke the snake out of them. It works every fucking time. I'm telling you. You can be talking to a preacher that you think's clean and all of that, and call him the N-word in your head because he's a black guy. Of course, I don't really think he's that. It's just a tactic, okay? I'm not racist. I'm not racist in the least. I'm just trying to prove to you that you got to, desperate times call for desperate measures, extreme measures, okay? And, you know, you want to use, whenever you're trying to smoke that snake out, you want to say the most offensive thing you can say to the person and get their reaction to judge whether or not they're if they just keep talking like nothing happened, they're clean. But they never do. They never do. I'm telling you, it's just one big freaking alien Borg we're living in here, and I'm still coherent, and I'm trying to tell you how I figured all of this out, right? And you got to listen for the side talk in the Spanish because they have their own language, like the barbecue, barbecue cook-off with the boss, and he said there's a hierarchy. He was talking about something totally different, okay? I don't think these people are even freaking cognizant, all right? I think whatever's driving them is completely taking over their freaking minds, all right? You want your Mueller report? There it is. You want to know what Mueller, the real Mueller? You're looking at him. I know I sound crazy. I'm telling you, everybody has turned into a transhumanist, and I'm pretty sure they sprayed this stuff in the skies with chemtrails, all right? A lot of people are going to say it. There's some sort of ET technology, all right? I believe this MASH was the first warning. It's in all the movies. It's in all the songs. This has been going on for years, okay? It's absolutely ridiculous how controlled society is, and people don't even realize it because the control makes sure that you don't realize it, right? Now, I have an override to that control, right? The psychiatrist that they sent me to on Barkdale Street, can't make this shit up, okay? The psychiatrist was 100% a transhumanist. When I first walked in there, I'd never met this guy, and I don't know where he got this. The first words out of his mouth were, "So you're the one that can do it all." I was like, what are you talking about, dude? Nobody from I asked my boss, have y'all talked to this guy? He was asking me he's like, no, we hadn't talked to him. You know, and why would you come the very first thing off the bat say, so you're the one that can do it all? I have all the technologies in me is why I can do it all. Now the technology that drives Antifa and the left and all of them, that turned them into just absolute robots, and they're not even home. They're the human side of them. That's why they want to kill babies and stuff. I have a technology in me that doesn't think humanity is trash. The technology that's driving the left believes that humanity is trash. They want the post-human era because they're already dead. They're not human anymore, right? Star Trek, the Borg, okay? The Federation starship, right, was the ones always fighting the Borg, okay? The Federation starship was the good side. The Borg was the evil side, right? They're all dead. They're not home. They're completely driven by technology. This is a fact, okay? That's why all of the politicians in the Democratic Party are fucking loopy. And all of the people that vote for them, that's the two pills. You got your blue pill and your red pill. Both of them are illegal, okay? Both of them are. They're working in unison to divide and conquer. All right? Now, if you got a little purple buddy like I do that's capable of pointing all of this out, then it keeps you awake and kind of gives you an idea of what's taking place, right? Now, I was talking to my preacher. You know what a cough button is. Let's say you're a radio DJ, right? And you got a cough, but you don't want to cough on the air. Well, you hit the cough button real quick to cough, right? So that everybody can't hear. Of course, now everybody's coughing on the air because that's a symbol. That symbolizes, like, pay attention right here, right? Well, whenever I talked to Roderick, who was the preacher, who goes cha 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 in church, right? He goes cha 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 like that. He calls that speaking in tongues. I call that being possessed by a demon. Okay, that's when I quit going to that church. Now, I think he's a great guy, and he's a good guy, but he's possessed by technology, and his talking in tongues was cha 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 cha. I was like, oh man. So I'm talking on the phone with him one night, right? And in the middle of his sentence, he said something that didn't have anything to do with what we were talking about, and I caught it, and I just pretended like I didn't catch it, and I kept on talking like, yeah, okay, yeah, sure, yeah, I'm listening, but whatever it was, you could tell it was like somebody forgot to hit the cough button, right, that was driving him. Whoever was driving him forgot to hit the cough button, and whatever they said, they were talking to somebody else or something. You could tell it was obvious. And then when he still didn't hit the cough button, and he said, you see how he stuck with it right there? After he had already said something that didn't make any sense, and it was talking about me. You see how he stuck with it right there? You see that? Yeah, I remember all of that, by the way, while y'all are really testing this technology out on the country. Yeah, you forgot to hit the cough button that day. I remember that. You see how he stuck with it right there? Yeah, I stuck with it, all right. I sure did. I remember everything that happened. And usually when they do to me what they do to all these other targeted individuals, they erase all your memories before that happens, right? I mean, by the time it's done, they erase. This is a big brainwashing scheme, all right? They're brainwashing the entire country. It's frickin' NWO technology. Everybody's inoculated, okay? You want your Mueller report? It's not just Washington, okay? The entire country has succumbed to pestilence. All right, and I'm the one pointing it out here because the entire intel community, the FBI, Washington, I'm starting to wonder about the military, all seem to be some sort of freaking out of their mind transhumanist. And if you've seen all of the information that I'd sent on America, you'd go, holy crap, but you probably wouldn't because you've all turned into transhumanists. Watch the movie The Host. Your minds are hacked, America. I'm the one here telling you that, okay?